Welcome to another Stage Analysis video. It's Wednesday the 1st of May 2024. I just wanted to go through a number of the new features that have been added again in the last week. I've been continuing to develop the new features at pace on the site, so just wanted to go through some of them, and as there's no actual section telling you how they work or anything like that at the moment, so I've just been trying to do it through the videos for the moment until I can have time to actually work on some kind of getting started sections or a frequently asked questions section, etc. So what I've done this week is I've just quickly highlighted a couple of the areas that have changed in the last few days, particularly with this little updated tag. So if we click through into the ETF summary here, you'll note that if you scroll down the page now past the sectors, the market ETFs and the commodities and treasuries, you've now got this new section at the bottom called theme ETFs. So these are groups, themes. They can be the gold and silver miners, the China ETFs, the semiconductor groups. So there's lots and lots of different ETFs for all of these groups. So I've tried to pick the most liquid of those areas so that we don't have lots of duplication in this. So it's just another way of getting a snapshot of what's going on in the market through these groups, as well as having the sectors all on this single ETF summary page. So you can also find these in the ETFs page itself. So if we just go to US ETFs, don't know why I put it all the way in there, but it's basically, this has all of the current ETFs that have been loaded in a single page, and you can see has their SATA score, the Mantle Relative Strength score down the side here. You can search by them. I will add filters, but I'm going to probably pull this into a single page with the stocks in time. But at the moment they're separate. So this is the US ETFs with the full list, and then they're ordered by strength of Mantle Relative Strength and their SATA score. So copper at the moment sitting at the top with utilities and the silver miners. And as you go down, we did have a jump up with some of the new entrants here. So you can see MJ up here. We have got the Agriculture Fund, ARKK, for example, Bitcoin Trust, metals and mining ETF. So all of the new theme ETFs have been merged into this list as well, and you can now sort by change with these, so you can see what's moving this week. So you can see at the moment we've got the physical platinum ETF has had the biggest move this week in terms of technical attributes change. It was MSOS yesterday with the huge move in that, but pulled back quite heavily today. So that's only up 2 at the moment into on a neutral score of 5 now. You've got the short, the ultra short SQQQ, the other cannabis stock that ETF there, and then the uranium miners ETF is up as well. So showing where there's strength this week, and then at the bottom of the scale down here you can see where the weakness has been. The oil services, the autonomous technology and robotics ETF, for example, energy fund, the IPO ETF, the JETS ETF. So this gives you another way to look at these ETFs. So if we look at you can click through to these into the individual charts. At the moment it doesn't have what we have on the stocks pages, which we have the sector and group information. So what I'm going to do is in this area here, so underneath the ticker, so it'll be another box like this, we will have the top 10 ETF holdings. Fingers crossed I've got the data for those, so but just got to make sure that we can get them in. So that is the aim, to have that in an area here. So it will say ETF holdings and top 10 holdings, and then when you click on that it will have a slide out panel with the top 10 holdings and their scores. So at the moment, for example, SMH here is on a neutral score of 4. You can see it's in a starting to pull down again, stage 2B minus position, so neutral position for the SATA score. Relative strength is still well above a rising 0 line. So not yet stage 3, could turn into stage 3, but at the moment still in what we call stage 2B minus position. So i.e. what that means is stage 2, B means it's late in stage 2, and the minus means it's technically weak within that stage. So it could from here, if we do see a further drop, could start to turn towards stage 3. But generally, we don't start to turn to stage 3 until we've had that first test of the 30-week moving average there, and it starts to rebound back through again. If we look at MSOS, for example, as I said yesterday, was a big pop through there, which has now squatted down a bit. Some huge volume in this. It's in a neutral position at the moment with its SATA score, so it's improved from a 3 to a 5, so it's gone from a weak score to a neutral score at the moment. So it did pop significantly more yesterday with the stage 2 continuation breakout attempt. So if it does follow through, then we would expect the score to improve to a 6 or above. So same with TAN here. It's been weak for a long time. Been highlighting it for a little while as it's been developing a stage 1 structure. It is testing the bottom of the structure again. Could potentially be making a new stage 4 continuation breakdown, but if it does, has attempted to spring here. So if it does manage to pull back through and we start to see it get back above that 30-week moving average, then it could start to turn back towards stage 2 quite quickly at that point. So it would be around this kind of area here, just underneath the $50 level. But if it does continue down through here, would continue into stage 4 once more. So that's an example of the ETFs. So another new feature that's been added this week is the additions of the sector and the sub-industry filters on the US stocks page. So the US stocks page here, this has got all of the current stocks loaded. So we've got 2,861 loaded at the moment. Going to be loading up the NYSE and Nasdaq composite stocks within the coming month. So once I've sorted a few more minor issues, so that should take us up to around 5,000 or so stocks, and that's probably where I'm gonna leave it in terms of the stocks, and only add ones that people particularly request after that, as well as adding in more ETFs as well. So, but what I'm doing with this at the moment is I'm beginning to build out the initial parts of the stage analysis screener. So we do have some screens already built in the back end. So I've got about 10 different screens where you can look for SATA score changes, you can look for them time-based changes, you can look for in terms of relative strength, you can see whether they're having a breakout, having a breakdown, all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to be starting to add those in as filters at the top here. So this is going to potentially turn from the US stocks page into the stage analysis screener. So similar sort of kind of style to FinViz, I think, in terms of the structure. I'm not sure how many filters I'm going to have at the top here, but just starting off with a few simple filters for the moment, which is already makes a big difference. For example, if you click on materials here and you want to, it shows you all materials. So you can then go, I just want to look at the gold stocks, and then you can see all of the gold stocks. So 23 entries here from 2,861 total stocks. So you can see how the gold stocks are doing. You can see their current change figures here. You can organize by that, and then you can see which ones are on the move this week. So only one gold stock this week, for example, has had a positive change, but the vast majority have been having declining technical attribute scores this week. But if we order it back by the score here, you can see we've still got vast majority of the group in a strong position, which is a score of 6 or above. So at the moment, pulling back. So you can reset the filters here. So if you click on this reset, so I will keep that somewhere within this top bar. I may have tabs in here for stocks and ETFs to switch between them, because ETFs don't have sectors and sub-industries, etc. So I might have different tabbed versions of the screens, as I'm not sure how it's going to work with mobile at the moment once I start to build in multiple different ones. So as I said, if you order by anything in here, you just want to look at apparel retail, it will order by that. And then if you click into the group, if it's not in that group, so apparel retail is in consumer discretionary, so if I click on that, it will keep it. Well, it won't keep it, that's a lie, I need to change that. So it switches it to all discretionary there. So whereas if I reset that again, we go to another one, So if you go to a different group, financials for example, it will now show you all financials in here. So it always switches between, try to make it logical without, there's quite a few different variations on how these filters work with each other. So just trying to keep it as logical as possible, so that if you select a sector first, for example, you see all of that. And then if you're in that individually, then you go somewhere else, it takes you out of that, and then you see all of those ones. So you want to see all of the coal and uranium stocks. You go to coal and consumable fuels, for example, and you can see at the moment you've got some of these on the move, +2 for URG, for example. So we go through to URG. So in stage 3 at the moment, as you can see, we've got a big pullback to the 30-week moving average and a lower high rebound at the moment. Could yet make a stage 2 continuation if it can break above this weekly pivot here. But on the flip side of that, this could also, with the recent pivot low below the 30-week moving average there, and the rolling over, likely this is around the 200-day too. This is potentially your stage 4 breakdown level as well. So if it actually started to flip and go the opposite way, potentially that could turn into a stage 4 breakdown point. So hence we're in stage 3 at this point, and it's in a completely neutral position, but attempting to strengthen here with a 5 to a 7. So going from a neutral score to a strong score at the moment. But the group overall, this coal and consumable fuels group, is still in a weak position at the moment. Or not weak. Actually, yeah, it is in a week. It's only 29% of the group at the moment. So these are in a neutral or a weak score. We've only got 4 stocks from the group here in the strong position. So, which some of you might not have seen that before actually, because I was on the ETFs. But when you're in a stock page, if you click on the sub industry here, and you click on that, it does a slide out panel and it shows you all the stocks in that sub industry. When you click on the sector, it shows you, once it loads, it shows you all of the stocks in the sector, and it highlights where the stock is compared to the rest of its sector there as well. And the same with the sub industry, it highlights where the stock is compared to its sub industry. So if I go to CCJ for example here, then click on that, it will show you it's in second position there overall. So come back into here. So as I said, this is the beginnings of the new stage analysis screener. So, and from this, once you do your research on here, you can then jump off to your individual charting platform. So if you're in here in the stock, you can see its stage, you can see the group and industry scores, etc. Then you like it and you want to look at it intraday, you can click open on trading view, and that will take you off to your trading view platform. And then if you've got the stage analysis technical attributes indicator loaded on here as well, so let me just push this out to give us a little bit more room and zoom in a bit. So you can see you've got that set up in the same way as I've got on the website. Then you can have the background colors on this or not. So you can turn those off if you don't want them. You want to be exactly the same as on the website, but then you can then use your daily charts, and you can use 195-minute charts, etc. You can still use all of the SATA data with that. You can even use the color background ones with this. So it gives you another way to use the data, as I'm not trying to build a charting platform with this. The charts are fairly basic, using TradingView charts as lightweight charts for this. So just as a way to keep them similar to what you used to and keep them nice and clean. But my intention is not to build a live charting platform with this. It's a research tool for stage analysis, which you then go off to your charting platform of your choice, basically, from that in order to trade from. But this is giving you all of the stage analysis data that you need before you actually then go off to your trading platform and then use that on your normal basis. So hopefully that makes sense. It's supposed to be a companion software to the charting software, not a competing software to a charting software. So I will be adding daily charts, however, in the future, just to give us a snapshot view. But again, they will be static charts like these ones. I'm not going to be making them live, or they will only have end of day data. So again, they'll just be useful in terms of when you're looking at the stocks initially before you then go off to your individual platforms. So move on from this. So one more feature that's been added over the last week. I've already mentioned it on the weekend video, but this being a public video, some people might not have seen that. So I've added a few more improvements to the GIC sub-industry bell curve. So this is going to turn into 4 bell curves in one. We're going to have the sector, the group, the industry, and the sub-industries all in one, so you'll be able to switch between them. So what I've done in the last week is, one, I've added the percentages in each area. So for example, there's 69.43 of the sub-industries in the weak zone, which is below 40%, i.e. less than 40% of these groups, less than 40% have a SATA score of 6 or above, and then we've got 14.65 in the neutral zone, and we've got 15.92 in the strong zone. So for example, silver over here is in the strong zone. You can see all of the groups, it's at 100% because all of them are on a score of 6 or above. Whereas if we go down to gold here and we open that one, you can see it's actually, we've got a few that are neutral and we've got 4 here that are in the weak zone. So we've got 8 that are basically neutral or weak, but the vast majority are in the strong zone. So you can see that's in the 60, just below the 65% range. That's the 60 to 65% level there. So on this chart, as before, we've got when it's got uppercase, it means it's improving on the week. So you can see pharmaceuticals here has had some improvements this week. So you can see the +5 here, +1, +1, +3, +5. So these are only improvements in terms of stocks that have moved to 6 or above. So there might be improvements below that level, but they don't count towards the percentage move, as we're only looking for it's only factoring in those that have moved to a 6 or above. So we're looking for the strong characteristics basically. So I may add some different filters to this as well to catch all of those kind of things, and I'm going to add breakout filters to this as well, so it can highlight when there's been a breakout, as well as time-based things as well, so that you can track back through the different weeks, so you'll be able to change the bell curve to compare against different weeks, etc. So the other feature I added in the last week, so if I scroll down here a little bit, is this sector basically filter. So you can see down here, if we just take it into the middle of the page, actually I might take the zoom down a little bit so you can see this a little bit better. So just get that out of the way. So on this now, we've got the 11 sectors. So if you click on any of these, it will change the chart, changes the percentage. So you can see up here, percentage is 100% in the weak zone. We've got none in the neutral zone, none in the strong zone for communication services. You can see the table underneath also updates and just shows the sub-industries from the communication services. In that table, we've got the 1 week change, 2 week, 4 weeks, so you can see which areas have had a positive change this week. Broadcasting, for example, we've had one that's started to move paramount above a 6 here, so let's move that up slightly. Integrated telecom services, for example, we've had 2 that have moved to a 6 or above, so you can see what's moving there. And you can, again, with other groups, just scroll that out of the way again, so you can do the same with any others. You want to look at technology, so again, all weak at the moment. Materials, on the other hand, you've got a bunch in them. So silver's on 100%, precious metals and minerals, and gold in the 60 to 65% range, aluminium. So you've got multiple groups in the materials still in a strong position. You've got multiple in the weak and multiple in the neutral. So very mixed bag with the materials group, whereas real estate, for example, much more in the weak zone. You've got financials, much more of a mixed bag. Discretionary is mostly weak, and staples is still actually mostly weak, where we've have some improvements here. You can see soft drinks and beverages starting to see a couple of moves up. Coca-Cola and Vita Coco Company this week have had a move above a 6 there. So And then utilities is basically the area of strength this week, which not really what you want to see, but you can see all of these have uppercase. So if you actually look, you see lots of positive changes in here. 100% of these utility stocks here. So click another one, 100%. See all of the positive changes in the utilities area at the moment. So not an exciting area by any means, but with the overall bell curve, as you can see here, sitting very much to the left. We're very heavily in the weak zone at the moment, in a short-term downtrend in the market really. So take that back up again. So that's a couple of the changes that I've added this week to there. So as I said, you can find them in here, and once you come into the members dashboard down the right hand side. So we've got just these links at the moment. As I said, all of these are potentially going to be consolidated into just one page, which will be the stage analysis screener. But at the moment, just making it easy for you to access any of them when you want. But these will just be filters within the US stocks page soon, so you won't need the individual links anymore. And same with these, and these already you can go into so individually. So if we look at the precious metal stocks at the moment, so this is have a mix of diversified metals and minerals, specialized finance, gold and silver. So you can see what's going on there. Majority of the group by the green bar at the top here is still in a strong position. So as I said, you can find all of the new features down the right hand side of the page once you log into the members dashboard there. So obviously bell curve, then the US stocks. These three here are the core pages at the moment really, and the updated ETFs list. As I said, going to be consolidating them into individual pages to make it much easier for you to navigate around and have less issues. So any particular tickers that you want added to the website in terms of the ETFs especially, let me know, and you can email me on the email that I sent out. You get an automated email when you join, so just reply to that if you want to send me any of those at the moment. I'll try and build a feature in. One of the members I was talking to yesterday gave me some good suggestions, so I'll try and build a feature in so that you can actually give me suggestions and ask for particular tickers, etc. So I'll catch up on that. And then just to finish off today, just wanted to see what with today's move with the Fed was a whipsaw day, and up and completely down, ended up even slightly negative. So back below the minus 1 ATR level here. So in our short-term downtrend here since back in mid-April at the moment. Significant bar back at the earlier part of April was the first clue here. So lower high now and rolling over, potential bear flag. We'll see if this actually breaks further and starts to test the bottom of the recent structure, whether it actually can test the 200-day. But at the moment, short-term downtrend is in play still. We can see by the bell curve and the rest of the market breadth data from the previous weekend that there's a little strength at the moment. So Nasdaq, similar picture, back below the minus 1 ATR level here as well. So continuing to break down since what was it, again significant bars. This one actually started off earlier, but this was the major one in early April again. So another lower high. So at the moment, continuing in the downtrend, looks like we're gonna potentially test the bottom of the recent range at least, but we will see. So at the moment, stay safe out there, guys. Hopefully this video has been useful for you and let you know give you an idea of what's going on. Again, any questions about the new features on the website, let me know. I'm obviously building them trying to build them as quickly as possible, but also trying to put as much thought into what I'm doing to make them as one, as user friendly for you guys and as useful to myself as possible, to be fair, because I am building them for me as well as you guys. So I'm trying to find any usability problems and fix them before moving on to completely new features. There's lots and lots of things that I want to do with the website, but trying to keep it limited to the stuff that I'm doing at the moment to make sure that they're in good stead before I move on to anything different, really. So, because I want to make sure it's of the highest quality for everybody. So hopefully you like what I've been doing, and let me know if you have any suggestions, etc. But I appreciate it as always, and I will see you on the next one.